everybody, this is Lee from Fresh Astrology. So I'm recording this under a shadow period for Mercury retrograde, which is very funny. I've had to redo it several times. So anyway, we do on Monday and Tuesday of this coming week. Just depends on where you are in the world as to what the actual time is, but you feel it now. I'm feeling it now. I've felt it for a week already. And I find that the shadow phase before and after a Mercury retrograde is equally, it counts. Because I get the same kinds of feeling from a Mercury retrograde. You feel it in your speech, in your writing, your emails, your letters, your vehicles, your machinery, small machinery, well, probably any machinery. You are going to just have little snafus, tiny little annoying things that happen. But the main thing about this, I think most people watching astrology kind of understand what happens in a Mercury retrograde. I think most of you understand you can use the retrograde to do important things. It's not just an annoyance, it's very valuable. It's a great time to gather resources, gather information, review, revise, did I say research, interview people. It's just a great time to work with information. As long as we're, reading things carefully before we send them, or maybe we just have to redo it. It's just one of those, I think we notice the annoying pieces of it, and we may not notice all the really good work we can produce, all that we can accomplish under a Mercury retrograde. This one happens to be in a very lovely trine situation in earth signs, and so it has this earthy, get some practical things done. So be practical with this one. Move forward with practical projects that have to do with research, revising, reviewing, rewriting, gathering any kind of data. So it's data finding. If you need to get things fixed, it's usually a good time to fix things. So it's good to be proactive about that too. You don't get caught, caught blindsided, sort of. Like I noticed several times during a Mercury retrograde, I've had, you know how your software wants to take over your computer and do all the updates, and it gives you all these, little warnings, and then finally, if you're like me and you ignore it forever, it finally is just like, I'm not going to ask you politely anymore. I'm just going to take over your computer and shut it down and do all the updates. And it always happens at a time when I'm doing something very important, because I always feel like everything I'm doing is very important, so I never want to take time to do it. And then it'll shut down my computer, and then I feel like, it's just really annoying. But it's a good idea to be proactive. Like, okay, it's a Mercury retrograde. I know I'm getting all these little messages on my computer that I need to, restart it and have the stuff update. Go ahead and do it, just to save yourself some trouble. Just take a moment to do it. And if you need to get your oil changed, if you need to get something, looked at on your car, go ahead and do it if you can. But it's a time we can use to our advantage. So I recommend, push forward during this time. We don't need to just stop all stuff. In fact, we're going to launch our company under Mercury retrograde, because we started, it kind of came to life under a retrograde, and the company has to do with retreats. So it's that famous Mercury retrograde RE word. So I think it's fine to launch under a Mercury retrograde, and we've got very interesting astro data going on right now and influences, and so I'm going to use that energy. And the retrograde doesn't bother me at all. We understand in our business, as most entrepreneurs do, and a lot of you out there are entrepreneurs, you're going to be redoing stuff anyway. It's not a big deal. You're going to be revising. And we actually formed accidentally during a retrograde, and we are in the business of retreats. So we're going for it. All right, take care.